A long time, going to school that I wasn't there for very long, or I've been brand new, I guess. Because of that, it would cost my family $10,000. I could not go home and tell my wife, hey, we really got to, tighten up at home and that kind of stuff. We got a first child on the way, and she's been sick for 9 months. It's not going to happen. So I made a decision there that I was not going to accept that job. It's the hardest decision in my life because that was my dream come true, and I had to say no. It was the right thing to do, and I did it happily because I knew it was the right thing to do. But it ruined my dream. As luck would have it, a year later, I get offered a job, and I accept a job at Schaumburg High School, where I spent 18 years. Then I accepted a job at a really great school, an amazing place, where I've spent 6 years. Woo! Right? I got to be honest with you, and you guys will get this as you get older and go out in the world. You'll get this a whole lot more. If you know people who are in college, or maybe even just a little bit older, talk to them. The experiences you have here are amazing. Especially for a guy, think about where I came from, right? And I met my first African-American person when I was a freshman in college. To be around this diverse environment, to be able to learn so much from so many is awesome. Well, anyway, through that time, I want to reiterate, I was a regular guy, right? Started with, I'm nothing special. I kept going when bad stuff happened. But I'm a regular guy. Some great things have happened to me over the time. We won a state championship in basketball when I was the head coach. And it was still called the greatest upset in Illinois basketball history. Okay, great experience. I got named as the state basketball coach of the year, all the coaches in the entire state. And I got named as the national basketball coach of the year. Okay, which is it's like 80,000 high schools in the United States. And I was the coach. I mean, that was really cool. I'm just a regular guy. I kept going. Great things happen to you when you look for the good in people, when you work with other people, and you keep going. I mean, I'm nothing special, but those are some special things. If I had looked at someone else and said they had those things, I go like, wow, that's amazing. And I come here and they name me as the director of mathematics. I get to be in charge of an incredible department of people who work very, very hard as professionals to be effective. Okay, they're leading in the state as far as the things they're doing in the mathematics department. And then I've got, for the Illinois Council of Teachers of Mathematics, I'm in charge of the state convention, which over 1,000 math teachers attend, and I'm in charge of the program to put that all together. I'm just a regular guy that keeps going, but that's amazing stuff. I get to do that, and I get to help people. At the next week, I'm actually going to be sworn in as the president of the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, the state association for all the coaches in the state. I'm going to be the president of it. It's really cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. What's awesome about it is that I get a chance to help people. Because I like to look for the good in people. I like to do that. It makes sense. It makes you happy. And I've kept going for a long time. My daughters told me that you missed something, and I got to tell you because they'll get mad at me if I don't. Last year I was inducted to the Hall of Fame, and I also got this award. It's the AEO Meyer Hart Award, which is given to, you have to be a Hall of Famer to be eligible for it, and they give it to you because of character. And I got that award, and only about 2% of Hall of Fame members get it, and I got that award. I'm very proud of that, but I go back and say, I'm not any different than anybody else. I kept going. I looked for good in people. I worked with people, and I kept going. So that's kind of the whole point here is that you don't have to be special to be special. All right, because this is math, I'm going to change up a little bit. Did I get a little preachy? I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to get preachy, but if I do get too preachy, tell me. We got to do a little math exercise. Yeah, I got you. It won't take long. It's very short. Pay close attention. Do not give the answer away if you've seen it before. And please don't count out loud. Count yourself.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make? The answer is 13.
13, good. Yeah, wait.
Did you see the moon?
before, it's easy to see. If you haven't seen it before, many people miss that guy. Yeah, it's easy to miss something you're not looking for. Fellas, it's easy to miss something you're not looking for. And I guess that's kind of my point is that, if you were hanging out with 3 friends and you looked at the bad things about those friends, could you find some? Absolutely. Would it make you happy? No, you got bad friends. If you were hanging out with the same 3 people and you look for the good things in those people, could you find some? Absolutely. Will it make you happy? Yeah, because now you got good friends. And it's real simple. You find what you're looking for. And it's amazing as you have experiences in life. A couple of weeks ago, this woman came and spoke to our faculty and spoke at another place. Anybody know who this is? This is Linda Blackman Lowry. That's easy for me to say. She was the youngest person to participate in the Selma Civil Rights Walk. They just recently made a movie about it, right? Very powerful. She was arrested, I think, 9 times before she was your age. She was arrested primarily because she was black, to be very candid. When she spoke, it was very powerful. I don't know if I can imagine a person who has a more different background than I do. And I'm listening to her speak, and one of the things she said, and this is rough, but she said, they asked her about it, she was like, I hated white people. It was part of what she was about. But if you read about what happened, if you read about those times in that area, I hated white people too. The things that happened there were wrong. What she had learned through her travels and what she had done, she grew up in a rural place in Alabama where all she saw was African Americans. It's the only people she hung out with. I grew up in North Dakota. The only thing I ever hung out with was white people. We entered the same place. When they asked her, how did you make all those changes? She said, well, the only way you can do something like that is you just got to keep going. Sound familiar? Right? And I really believe that. It rang so true. Now, she found a way through all her stuff, and she got the discrimination that would make you cry if you heard all this stuff. She found a way to look for the good in people, and she's done that. It's amazing. When I hear her talk, when I heard her talk, she's saying the same stuff and doing many of the same things I'm doing. We couldn't come from more different backgrounds, yet there it goes. She had one very powerful message. She talked about Ferguson. She didn't really help the people in Ferguson. She told them they need to help themselves. She was inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. She went to see him by mistake. And the biggest message she got from them. Could you guys stop your conversation, please? And if you want to do that, you can go somewhere else. Martin Luther King came with this phrase, steady, loving confrontation. It's a really powerful phrase because it means many things. Steady, the keep going part, right? To be steady, you got to just keep going, keep going. Loving, looking for the good. Okay, not the bad and what happens, and not the bad people. In confrontation, I think that's the most important part. If there are things you don't like, things you want changed, you need to confront them. Whether it's about yourself or about anybody else or anything that's going on, you need to confront them, but in a steady, loving way. Okay? The Reverend Jesse Jackson stood on this stage 5 years ago and talked to our entire student body. All 3 of them had exactly the same message. I wish someone would have shared this message with me when I was your age, because I would have done some things differently that I didn't realize the power of it. And that message is real simple. It's kind of a letdown after the build-up, but it's really simple. It's this. Your vote is your voice. Linda Blackman Lowry would not really do much as far as Ferguson because she said, you know what? The thing that has to change is that the community is primarily African American. The leaders, the mayor, the council, that kind of stuff, primarily white. You need to use your vote to change that so that people are representative of what the community wishes and needs. And it was very powerful. Okay? I have a renewed appreciation for the power of that vote. Reverend Jackson talked about you guys are the people that can change the world. you have the perspective and you have the energy and you have the time. As you get into colleges and start looking at that kind of stuff, the whole thing is you have the power to change the world, and voting is a big part of it. Please take it seriously. I wish someone would have told me that when I was younger. I kind of threw that in. I'm getting preachy again, I get it, but I really believe it's important. How much time do we have left?
2 minutes.
How much? 5? 7? 8 minutes. All right. Well, then I'm going to tell you about the Revolutionary War. It'll just take a second. It's kind of cool. It's my favorite story about leadership. The Revolutionary War, they used to have roads that were dirt, and they would wash out when it rained, so they couldn't move their cannons where they're supposed to move their cannons. So they put logs on the side so they wouldn't wash out. And there was a group of soldiers trying to put this log up on the side of the road. And they couldn't quite get it up there, and they would fall back down. It was raining, and they'd take the log out of the forest. And the corporal, the head of the company, was yelling, like, you guys aren't real soldiers, you're not real men, you've got to man up and do this, and yelling at them, and kind of demeaning them and doing all that kind of stuff. A guy came walking out of the forest behind him, jumped in and helped them, and boom, done. It was obvious all they needed was the help of one man. And he said that to the corporal, went up to him and said, why? Well, it was obvious all you needed was the help of one man to get that done. Why didn't you jump in and help your soldiers? He says, I'm a corporal. That's foot soldiers' work. And the guy's answer was, well, I'm George Washington, your commander-in-chief, and if your men ever need help, have them contact me. And walked away. And that's a true story. That's the kind of leadership that I wish to have. When I lead my department, here's an example of how that translates to the small world I'm in. You know, George Washington is amazing, right? I'm a normal guy, right? I'm the head of the math department. I'll be sitting in the copy room where there's a line of teachers copying their stuff. The bell will ring, and it's time, like the end of the class, and it's 5 minutes till the next class starts. And there'll be one of my teachers in front of me. I'm their boss, which creates a little different dynamic, right? And also you can see the teacher going like they don't know what to do. Because part of the thing is, like, it could be construed they weren't prepared for class, because you could tell they needed those copies for that class. You know, and here's their boss standing behind them. So they don't know what to do. If they leave, then they don't have the copies for class, so they're stuck. And I've asked the same question. I've done it many times. The question is this: how many in what room? I get the same answer every time. It's funny. They go like, what? You need these copies for next class. How many copies you need, and what room are you in? Give me the stuff. I'll make the copies. Give them. I don't have to be in class next period. And the thing is, just like George Washington, right? It communicates very loudly that we're in this together. We're going to work together to do the things we do. And that, to me, is leadership. You know, and that's just the thing that you probably need to make change, right? Is that kind of leadership. And leadership that we're going to get to help each other. I'm going to skip one since we're kind of out of time. So, unless anybody wants to tell me who this is.
Bill Russell and JoJo White.
Bill Russell and JoJo White, actually. Yeah, right. Close. All right. So there's 3 things, right? I've kind of harped on these, right? Gone back to them. I figured you guys would pick them up. I would put them up for the visual learners, right? Look for the good. You only find it if you're looking for it. You won't find it if you don't. Right? Work with each other. It's easy to work with each other when you look for the good. And finally, keep going. Everybody has that same thing. You don't have to be anything special. You keep going, you'll accomplish special things. Now, you might ask me, Mr. Williams, when the heck should I do this? Where should I do this? Well, I got a song for you. Not much of one, only a small snippet. Some of you may know who this is. If you've seen this before, don't answer, but someone new may know who this is. Anybody? Rage Against the Machine is correct. Nicely done. Good stuff. Okay? And the message is clear, right? This stuff, it all sounds great if you listen, and I appreciate your attention. That was great. Bottom line is, if you want things to be different in life, you need steady love and confrontation even with yourself. You need to say, I'm good, but I can make myself better by doing this and this and this. Looking for the good and keeping going makes total, complete sense. As you get ready for finals, best of luck to you all. We're nearing the end. Hang in there, keep going, get your stuff done. Thank you very much for your listening.